All right, what's up, YouTube? So we're here today with a tier list. This tier list was made by Lotus Asakura, and I'm gonna make sure I pronounce his name correctly because I see it all the time and I kind of pronounce it wrong, but he says it all the time. But Lotus Asakura, he made this tier list, right? So I haven't finished watching the video. I've only seen where he put his first character. He made this tier list is how carried are you by your character. Now he prefaced this all with saying that like none of this applies to any top players. So he was like, if you see any characters in any of these tiers, it does not apply to the top players that use these characters. It applies to the people like us that play in ranked, right? So I wanted to do this, and I wanted to compare what my list would be to his without seeing his list first, right? Because I play a very I guess a controversial character in the Tekken 8 game or whatever, right? So like I play Victor, right? You guys know I play Victor. I've only played Victor throughout the entirety of Tekken 8 so far, and I mean I'm planning to learn maybe one or two other characters. I just don't know when yet. I was saying that maybe I'll do it when I hit purple, but it might be sooner than that. But I do like Victor. But I think Victor has his flaws. So we have tiers here. We have your character plays the game for you, gimmicks, easy to mash with, earned it, and actually working harder than most. These are the same tiers that Lotus Asakura used, and these are the tiers that I'm going to be placing characters into to see if mine like lines up with his at all. I'm sure it probably won't. I've reached Shinryu, and I'm able to beat some of the purple rank players that I run into in 2 out of 3 set. He has reached blue ranks. He plays Hwoarang, and he I think gets the same kind of I don't want to say like hate, I guess, for playing that character because that character is very annoying to deal with. And while my character is also very annoying to deal with, I think that my character has less tools than a lot of the other characters in the game. When I first looked at it, I was thinking maybe I'll put my character in actually working harder than most. But I'm not going to say that because some people think the character is very easy to match with. But when I'm really thinking about it, the way I beat people is mostly gimmicks. It's mostly gimmicks. So first and foremost, I'm putting my character into gimmicks because I think that he has a whole lot of very, very punishable moves. He doesn't have any 14 frame or any launchers that are less than 15 frames, so he can't really punish a whole lot of the things that a lot of other people can punish and knock a character down. He looks for counter hits and all that kind of stuff, right? So then the first character on this list, because his list was different. It was a different tier list. It had different images, but first character we have on this list is Kazuya. I think that I would have to put this is weird. This is actually a weird tier list because usually like easy to mash with, I would think would go below. Like this is what I'm gonna do. My easy to mash with is going to go with up here, right? And this tier is going to be gimmicks, because a gimmick, you kind of have to know how to use the gimmick, right? You gotta know. Wait, let me see. Why does it do that? Whatever. Anyway, the background text of the text is yellow, but you have to know how to use the gimmick in order to understand what the gimmicks are in order to like get away with them and use them properly, right? Like use the gimmicks that your character has. Easy to mash with is you don't have to really know anything. Like you're just like, I'm just gonna press these buttons and I hope it works, right? And then the character plays the game for you. I already know one character that I'm putting in this tier already. We'll get to him though. So Kazuya, I'm gonna put in gimmicks, because Kazuya, he's literally just a 50-50 monster. There's another 50-50 monster in this game too. like off the top of my head I can think of. I just played against him. If you watch the video, but it was a Fujin player. But in general, like the people who are not in Fujin, the people who are underneath Fujin, the purple ranks and the red ranks, those players are usually the ones that only really use his 50-50 and not the rest of his mix-ups. But Kazuya is the 50-50 monster. He basically punishes you with a 10 frame knockdown, right? And then you have to guess on wake up, and you have to guess mid or high, or you're back on the ground, or excuse me, you have to guess mid or low, and then you have to or you'll end up back on the ground, right? If you end up back on the ground, you're back in the 50-50 again, and you have to guess again. So like that's the gimmick that Kazuya has. People call him an honest character. I don't think he's an honest character, specifically for the reason that he has a 10 frame punish that knocks you down. And he's had this before, but like he has a 10 frame punisher that knocks you down on the floor so he can get his game plan going, right? He can't just not, he can't, like his 10, like most people's 10 frame punishers are not knocking you down. Like probably like 99% of the cast is not knocking you down for 10 frames. You make one mistake, one small mistake, it could be -11, -12, and he's knocking your ass on the floor, and he's going to 50-50 you. Now, Kazuyas that are really good at, you know, mixing things up are going to get you. They're terrifying. And then he has other things that are like safer to do on the 50-50 for mids, where it's like, okay, you didn't press anything, maybe you're not on ground, but you just get steel pedaled, and then like you take a ton of like a chunk of damage, and then you're back on the ground again like in the next 5 seconds. So like Kazuya is a scary character, but his gimmick is his 50-50. I have to say that his 10 frame punisher kind of carries that character. Without that 10 frame punisher, Kazuya wouldn't be as good as he is. And some people will say, oh no, he's honest, whatever. I don't think he's an honest character. He does a lot of damage for a 10 frame punisher. So then we have Jin. Jin is hard. Jin is kind of gimmicks, but I would have to say that Jin is kind of easy to match with. He has a lot of lows. He has a lot of very like weird things that a lot of launchers, a lot of stuff that seems to be like safe on block or whatever, and like you have to really like know the matchup in order to stop this character from mauling you. So I'm gonna put Jin in easy to match with. Nina might be in the earned it tier. I think Nina might be in the earned it tier because the only time that I really lose to Nina's is when like they kind of know what they're doing. It is kind of gimmicky, which is why it's hard. It's hard to separate gimmicks from earned it and from easy to mash with, because like all of them have some type of gimmicky stuff in them, right? But that's kind of what fighting games are. Like you got to find your character's little gimmick and kind of use it and knowledge check your opponent, right? At least in Tekken. But in a lot of low ranks, if you can use your gimmick to get ahead, use it. It's going to get weaker and weaker as you move up in the tiers, because once people understand the gimmicks and once they know how to beat those things, you won't really be able to do much, right? You won't be able to really use that gimmick all that much. The same thing with Victor's 222 string. Victor's 222 string, I don't use that at all in like neutral anymore, like at all. Like when I first started playing the game, it was easy to use 222 and then hit 2 again to get a tailspin if you got the hit, or you do 222 and then like they block the bullet and then like you go and you just hit 2 again and now you're safe, right? So I use the stance, but I just don't use it as the 222 string. I use the gunshot, but I use the raw gunshot. I use the raw gunshot a lot at distance and cancel my stance and when I'm far away. And then when I'm close, if I'm close enough and I think that they're going to try to punish my teleport, then I can go in an armor move. Or if they're not close enough where I think they're going to press a button because they're not close enough to me, then I press 2 to do slash, which makes me safe. Sometimes I do whiff it if I think I'm closer than I actually am, and then they'll punish me for that. Usually they'll dash up punish, but I'm in red ranks, so like they know to kind of like be a little bit more reserved while he's in his stance and not to try not to get hit by things. Some people will try to sidestep, sidestep the slash or sidestep the moves that I throw out with an EI stance. So, it's gimmicks, like things you have to think more when you get up in higher ranks when you're using gimmicks to win. Nina though, she has like a lot of like stance cancel stuff. I'm pretty sure like she's always doing this like little ducking thing, and it's terrifying because I don't know what's going on. I don't understand it. And and I could easily call that a gimmick, but I think that's just what Nina does. Like that's what her thing is. So Paul is another he's a solid character, right? Paul is a solid character, and I think I'm gonna put him into kind of, people want to call him an honest character, but maybe kind of, but it's hard because where I'm at, people use gimmicks to get by. I don't think you can really mash with him. People use gimmicks to get by, and I've learned that like his straight punch, I think it's his death fist, is negative enough to punish it. So I've learned that you can punish it if I'm looking at the right move. And his low that people use as the 50-50 is also very, very punishable by launcher, right? It's death on block. His low is death on block. It's a hell sweep, and his straight punch, which is the 50-50 mid to his low, you can punish that, and that, maybe not with a launcher, but you can punish it. So in higher ranks, he earned it. A lot of the characters that are use gimmicks will probably get moved down to earned it, and the higher you go would probably get moved down to harder than working harder than most. That's probably what it would be. But in the ranks that I'm in right now, he's just gimmicks. Like he's just like, I'm just gonna run up to you and low. I'm just gonna run up to you and mid and hope that you get hit by one of them, right? This character, the where I'm at right now, like before, I think I was in the camp of him kind of being easy to mash with, but he's not. I don't think he's really easy to mash with where I'm at right now. Where I'm at right now, he kind of earns it. He kind of earns it. He has a lot of scary looking stuff, but if you have like any type of defense against this character and you're patient, you could probably just beat this character. He's not as scary as he looks. King is going right up here to your character plays the game for you. Why do I say this about King? So I always felt that King in this game, maybe not in the previous games, I don't really know, but like in the previous games, I never felt like I really lost to a King that didn't know anything, right? Like usually if I lost to a King in Tekken 7, and I wasn't like a high ranked person in Tekken 7 or anything, I was way lower rank in Tekken 7 than I was in Tekken 8. But then again, I didn't play Tekken 7 as hard as I'm playing Tekken 8 right now. So King in this game, he just seems to have a lot of really strong like 50-50 and throw game mixed together, where it's like he has things that are unbreakable throws from heat stuff. He has like this like a lot of armor. He has mid armored attacks where he's doing like power crushes or whatever, and if you run up to him, he's doing a power crush. If he runs up to you, he's probably gonna do Shining Wizard, or he's gonna throw out some throw that you either have to choose one or two, and not any of the normal throws that he has. So now not only do you have to know whether you should be pressing 1 or 2, you also have to know 1 plus 2. Like this is like the older Tekken games where all of the throws were breakable, where you had to look at the hands, right? But now in Tekken 7 and in Tekken 8, normal throws are breakable by 1 or 2, and there are some special throws that you have to choose whether it's 1 or 2. And then you have your other command grabs, which are like 1 plus 2s, right? So like to break King's grabs is really hard, and a lot of people don't really know which grabs to break when, and if he's constantly switching up his grabs. A lot of people are not looking at hands. Nobody down in our ranks, or probably all the way up to Fujin sometimes, are not even like looking at hands to break grabs. especially if they've made it to Fujin and they've not played Tekken 8 or Tekken before, and or they just were never used to looking at hands to break grabs. Like nobody's doing that. So this character plays the game for you. Like this, I think that's pretty true. There's a dude, Coney. He's a streamer. He's a Smash player, content creator guy, and he's doing the event that Sejam put together with all the streamers playing Tekken. In this I guess I don't know if it's like a round robin or a like just like a team tournament type of thing with Tekken, and all these big streamers are playing in it. Coney being one of them, he's playing King, and after 4 days of playing Tekken, only 4 days of playing Tekken, he has reached Mighty Ruler with King, and I'm like, bro, what? Like how? like I'm playing Victor, the person, the character that everybody says is so overpowered and so strong, and when people watch me play, they think, you know, oh, you're pretty good. You use stuff that I've never even seen anybody else use. You know, you seem like you're really solid at the game. Like this is stuff that other people have told me. I'm like, I guess sure, but me playing this character, and I'm struggling to get to purple rank. I'm struggling to get past Shinryu. I was stuck in Garyu for forever. I thought I was going to be stuck at Destroyer for a much longer time than I was, but I ended up getting to red ranks. I was stuck in Garyu for a pretty long time, and then I kept playing, kept practicing, kept getting a little better here and there, and now I'm in Shinryu, and now I'm trying to reach Tenryu. I'm so close. I was so close multiple times to hitting Tenryu. And then once I hit Tenryu, I'm gonna work on trying to get the Mighty Ruler. So, like this character definitely plays the game for you. If once you go into heat, they'll just activate heat burst. They'll do it again, and then he runs up to you, and you have to guess. Now you have to guess. He either does a homing mid attack, so you can't sidestep, right? You can't you can't risk sidestepping unless you think he's gonna throw. And if you think he's gonna throw, you might as well duck. But you can't really duck safely because his homing attack is mid and he'll destroy you, right? So then, and it knocks you down, and it's absurd, right? And if you decide to stand, then he has an unbreakable throw coming out of heat. Like it's nuts. It's nuts. So so that like this character is OD in this game right now. Like OD. Lars is just easy to match with, dog. Easy to match with. I'm not gonna say he plays the game for you, because he definitely can be punished. He definitely can be hit out of things. He definitely can be beat very, if you pay attention to the fact that somebody is mashing or not, you can beat him. So he doesn't really play the game for you, but he is very annoying to deal with, and he is very easy to match with. He has a lot of stuff where, his strings will put him into these stances where it takes him like back really far. So KBDing, why do you need a KBD when you have a stance that takes you super far back? And you could do silent entry to get in. You could do whatever the move is that puts you in this stance that makes you drop backwards, and like all these other things that he has. He's definitely a character that is easy to match with. Very annoying character. Jack 8. I don't know where to put Jack 8 actually. Jack 8 is a really good ass character. He's a good ass character. I almost want to put him in easy to match with, but he definitely has some gimmicks. Like he definitely has some gimmicky stuff. I hear he has a 10 frame heat engager. I have not really experienced this myself because I don't really play against a lot of Jack 8s. But the Jack 8s that I normally play against usually try to like gimmick me out. And that he has like these he has like armor moves. He has moves like whatever I don't know if it's the jackhammer or whatever, where he puts both his fists in the ground. It's a low, and you think it's gonna be mid, but it's a low. And he has these other things where he's really safe. He has these strings that are really safe and seem to be plus. It seems like you almost have to sidestep them, but there's like a part in it where there's highs where you can duck under the kick portion, and if you don't duck the kick, then you're back in the string again. It's just like, oh, okay. I kind of have some similar to that too, where you have to duck the high, and if you don't duck the high, you're back into the blender again, because the high is +3. And I think it's the same thing for Jack. Like if you don't duck his kick, that looks like a mid because it looks very low. It doesn't look like a high. It looks like a mid. But if you don't duck it, then you will you'll get put back into the blender string again. Jun, I haven't really fought against a lot of Juns recently. It's usually Asuka's, but Jun, when you don't know what you're doing against her, it feels like she's easy to mash with. But once you understand what to look for and not try not to get hit by and like bait it into is like backflip launcher and like some of the other stuff she has, it's a little harder. So like I don't know if I want to call her gimmick. I almost want to say that Jun is earning it. If I don't feel scared to approach the only time I'm more reserved about approaching the character. It's a little different than being scared of approaching the character, because I don't want to be hasty and then have them do like backflip kick or something and launch me in the sky. So it's a little more I'm a little more reserved when approaching her and trying to just kind of feel out what she's doing. But I almost want to say I just want to Jun for me right now is in the earned it tier. Maybe it should have been gimmicky earlier if I would have done this tier list earlier in ranks. Like maybe if I would have done it around like orange ranks or something like that, I would have felt the character was kind of gimmicky. But I think she pretty much earns it. Xiao Yu, I was gonna say she's easy to mash with, but I think Xiao Yu kind of plays the game for you in this game. Xiao Yu has a lot of stuff that goes under mids. Like it's absolutely like disgusting. Going under a high and ducking a high or having moves that duck highs is one thing, but having moves that duck mids that are meant to hit people that are crouching and meant to hit people that are like holding down and staying low to the ground, you use those as mid. Like you use your mids for that. So then when it looks like she can be hit, and then she rolls toward you and you do a mid, or at least when I do a mid with Victor, it just completely whiffs and then you get launched into the sky, right? And then she can double roll, so like there's a mix up there. Sometimes she'll roll and then you'll be like, okay, I don't want to press anything here because I'm going to get launched. She'll roll again and you're like, I don't want to press anything. And then she gets up and grabs you. And then she has like a grab, I think from back turn maybe, that will put you in a situation where you'll get it put into a combo, like a grab that results in a combo because you didn't want to press anything because you didn't want to get launched. You get launched anyway. She has a 50-50 roll under your mids, launch / grab that puts you into a combo. Like bro, what? Like that's all you really need. And then like she can just go under stuff. She hits really low. She has like a stance that puts her into a thing where she does this really fast, almost unreactable like snake edge homing move. It's ridiculous. And that it just results in a launcher, and then like you get comboed to death. So I'm just like, okay. all right Xiao Yu. Leroy, I haven't really seen any Leroys. I hear that Leroy is actually working harder than most. I that's what I heard. I played against maybe a few Leroys early on in Tekken 8. But I haven't really seen him. So like Leroy, I'm gonna say he's earned it. I don't know if he's actually working harder than most. Maybe he is, but I couldn't tell you because I haven't seen him. So maybe that's why, because he's not. Maybe because he's not as nearly as good as he was in Tekken 7. I don't know. So we have Asuka here. Asuka is definitely a gimmick character. I think she might be pretty easy to mash with actually, because while Jun has similar moves to Asuka, Asuka always has some like weird moves. She has moves where she can do a backflip kick, which is a launcher, into another launcher, right? So like if you block the backflip kick and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go punish this, and then she does another launcher right after it, while she's getting up, and you get launched because you thought you were going to punish this stupid backflip move that she has. But no, you're not gonna do that. And then she's gonna keep pressing buttons, and then she's gonna go into these like long stupid strings, and then that have lows in them with mids and other stuff. We're just like, dude, this character is fairly annoying to fight. I don't think I really like fighting this character. She has like a power up thing. I have no idea what it does. Maybe if I knew better, maybe she would be more in gimmicks. But right now, I feel like she's just kind of easy to mash with. Lily is easy to mash with. Yes, Lily is easy to mash with. Hwoarang is easy to mash with. Like that's just a thing that's just gonna be there. Some people would say Victor is easy to mash with, only because he has a 2/2/2 string, but that is not even that. It's not even that good. Like I don't even like using it in combos anymore because it doesn't do any damage. Like it doesn't do any damage and it doesn't do you any favors in neutral. It really doesn't, unless the other person is just oblivious to how to play like the game. And to not seeing that everybody is always ducking the bullet, and that's what you're supposed to do. But even I don't duck the bullet all the time, but even when I run into Victors, they don't do this anymore because it's just not worth it. Brian, I think Brian is actually working harder than most. Despite Brian being a good character, Brian is a good character in this game, I think, and he does a buttload of damage, and he's scary to fight. But it never feels like Brian is really mashing for real. And if he is, he's not usually winning. Then you have I don't think he has like gimmicks. He just has solid neutral. So I think he's probably one of the hardest working characters in the game. He doesn't really have anything that's not like, he doesn't have anything that's like crazy weird looking to block or anything like that. He just pressures you very well. He has very good neutral tools, and like that's all he really needs. And then like he just cracks you open by using pressure and neutral, and then like does a ton of damage to you, and then pushes up against the wall, beats the crap out of you, and your character is melting and getting pulverized. Like that's what Brian does. But Brian is probably working harder than most. Claudio, I haven't really seen a lot of Claudios, but the Claudios I played against, I think he's probably earning it. Like he's probably earning it. I think he has more than Brian does, and he has a couple of better I guess plus frame things, but he has I don't know. The Claudio seems like he's earning it. He's not working harder than most people, but he's definitely earning his win. Raven is gimmicky. Raven is definitely a gimmicky character. He has a lot of weird looking stuff. I haven't fought against a lot of them, but I know that Raven has a lot of weird looking things to block, to deal with, and he's just kind of hard to read when I am playing him. But I try to maybe not hard to read, but maybe it's because I haven't fought against a whole lot of them. But he definitely is up there with the gimmicks. Azucena is easy to mash with. I think Azucena is easy to mash with. I think if you know her gimmicks, and you just go ham with her, she's pretty dangerous. If you know exactly what to do with her and how to use her stance to scare people into not pressing anything, which is what happens to me a lot, because I'm like, I want to use my mids, but then like I ended up not being able to use my mids, or as soon as I'm about to press a mid, she presses something faster. I get blown up for it because I don't want to press anything that's high or low, because she'll just parry it when she's doing her stance and she's walking at you. So she's a pretty scary character to fight. I've also thought about playing this character after I've finished playing Victor, but I don't know. I have to see. It's either going to be Azucena, like Alyssa, or maybe Reyna. Basically, either be one of the two other new characters or Alyssa. It's leaning more towards Alyssa, though. So we got Dragunov. Dragunov definitely has gimmicks, and he definitely has like throws, but it's not usually the throws. It's usually as much as he gets on my nerves. I think let me think about Dragunov, because like, he just went in my head from earned it, a gimmicky earned it character, to the character plays the game for you. Because this is what happens with when you're fighting Dragunov, right? He runs at you, he does like the running 2 move, he gets his plus frames, right? With his mid. And then you want to stand up, right? Because you don't want to take any crazy mids. You don't want to take that again. You don't want to take any other mid, right? So then you stand up, and then he kicks you in your legs to get more plus frames, and now you've taken damage. And now it's like, okay, well, I don't want to duck because he's gonna launch me now. So then, he kicks you in your leg again, you lose another chunk of damage, and then he has plus frames again. And then he does running 2 or whatever, and then like you're still standing up, you've blocked running 2, and then you're like, he's gonna kick me low again, and then you duck, and then he launches you, and then now he's doing a combo, and now you're on the wall, and now you're on the ground, and he's stomping you, and you're probably dead, and you probably lost the game. So it's like he kicks you a couple of times, he puts you in plus frame situations like 3 or 4 times in a row, and then you get launched because you were like trying to play defense, and you just die, right? So you have to stay away from you have to stay away from the stuff that he does. But I'm sure that when you get higher, right? He's probably earning it. He's probably earning it. He falls into the gimmicky or earned it character. But remember, I'm in red rank Shinryu, so when I say higher, I mean like probably high purple and like in blue and stuff like that. So then we have Shaheen. I've fought maybe 2 Shaheens, and as far as I can tell, he's working harder than most characters. I haven't seen anything out of Rashid. I mean, Rashid. I haven't seen anything out of Shaheen. Did I call him Rashid or did I call him Shaheen? I haven't seen anything out of Shaheen for real. The one player that I played the other day who was playing Shaheen, he was I think he was either a mighty ruler or a flame ruler or something like that, and the way he was playing, I could not understand how I was losing. Like he just kept kicking me in the leg. He kept doing this one string and was kicking me in the leg, and I was just like, I don't want to duck. I don't have any reason to duck right now. I'm just going to take all these lows. It's not knocking me down. It's not counter hit launching me. Like I just kept taking low after low after low after low, and I'm just like, okay. And then eventually, he does the slide thing where he has the law mix up where, he slides underneath you, and then he does like this mid thing that knocks you down when you try to get up, and then he slides at you again and then knocks you down again, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna duck, and then he gets up and he launches you or something, right? Like, so like it's like it doesn't seem like he's doing a whole lot of crazy wild things. He just has some good ass buttons, I guess. Like I don't know, but as far as I can tell from my very limited time playing against him, it seems like he's actually working harder than most characters in the game. Steve Fox, we know he's easy to match with. Does he have some technical things? Yes, he does. He definitely has some technical things. He has some big damage. He's very scary to fight because he's scary to press buttons against because of like, I think it's back 1 or back 2, which is the counter hit launcher. It's really fast. It just comes out and it's short. It's like boom, and your character like crumples, and then he like combos your character, whatever, and he gets his damage that way. And then like you have to really watch out about where you press buttons because you don't want to get back 1. It's terrible. Leo, where should we put Leo? Leo is either a character that plays the game for you or easy to match with. I'll say easy to match with because I've run into a couple of Leos that seem to be matching and I lost to them, but it was like, okay, if I just kind of like space it out, if I'm a little more patient, I could beat this person, right? But then you have people that are just literally running. They don't ever stop pressing like this string. And there's a string that she has that's +9. Like it's like a string with a move in it where she like does it like a knee thing and raises up her hand like this. And if you block that, it's +9 on block. It's insanely stupid. And then afterwards, it's either a mid or a low that comes after it. Now, if you block the low, I think you can. I think it's death on block. The mid, I think, is either minus or punishable, one of the two. Um, but it's still very, very irritating to deal with. And then on top of that, down two, I think, yeah, down two from Leo is +4 on block. It's just down two. It's not anything crazy. You don't have to go into a stance to get the plus frames. You don't have to do anything crazy. You just walk up to them and you press down two and you're +4 on block. It's kind of nuts. Kind of nuts. That move alone kind of almost makes me want to put the character and play the game for you. Almost. Yoshimitsu, I think, is not necessarily easy to mash with, because a lot of stuff that Yoshimitsu has is very like kind of telegraphed, where it's like you can see what's happening, and you can, and like maybe very punishable too, or you just lose your turn, and they're big moves. So like it's not really something that I think would be easy to mash with. But I'm not a Yoshimitsu player, so I don't know. But the character is definitely the king of gimmicks. So definitely a gimmicky character. Kuma, despite the fact that I hate playing against Kuma sometimes, because all of them feel like they're trolly characters who just want to make you look bad. Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like all Kuma players just want to make you look bad. A lot of the Kuma players that I played, they will stand there in one spot waiting for you to attack. They'll just stand there. Like, they won't move, they won't sidestep, they won't backdash, they won't approach you. They'll just stand there and wait for you to do something so that they can like slap the shit out you or something, like with a big paw. And then like sometimes like after that they start to approach you and they start to run their stuff where they'll jump in the air and you'll take a low, or they'll spin on their backs and it looks like, oh well, this is going to be a mid, right? No, it's a low, and it's like, do I stand here to take this mid, or to block this mid? But no, it's a low. How is the bear's whole body a low attack when the bear is like balled up and it's half the size of my body? How am I supposed to recognize that as a low attack? Whatever. And then there's like other things where bears go into the bear stance where highs will whiff over their head, so you have to make sure to use mid attacks, or else you're gonna get like launched from the bear stance or whatever. Like it's super annoying. But once you understand like what the moves look like in the animation, startup of the animation of the move looks like, they're gimmicks, but there's some pretty solid gimmicks in there. Feng Wei might be easy to mash with. I used to play Feng in Tekken 5 and Tekken 6, and I think Feng Wei might be pretty easy to mash with, because he has a lot of weird moves. A lot of moves where he's swinging his arms around. Some of his moves have built in like sabaki in them, and then like they'll just you just do the move. You'll try to attack him, and he'll slap your hands out of the way and punch you and something like that. Like I don't necessarily. I never wanted to go back to playing the character. I'm not really interested in Fang anymore. I don't know why. I just haven't been interested in Fang anymore. But like he's definitely a solid character. I don't think he plays the game for you, but he definitely seems to be easy to mash with. Oh god, I got an eyelash in my eye or something. Oh god, sucks. All right, I think I got it. I had to pause the recording. Okay, so next is Panda, right? Panda is almost the same as Kuma, but like if this was a tier list about like characters that were popular or characters that I've seen in ranked, Panda would be all the way down here and not ever used, right? Like I'd never really see Pandas. It's usually Kumas, and Panda doesn't have electrics, but Panda has Xiaoyu moves. I'm not sure the extent of the Xiaoyu moves that the Panda has, but the Panda definitely has the very annoying Xiaoyu move where she like jumps at you and kicks you a whole bunch of times. Panda has that move. I think Panda is probably a gimmicky character in the same vein as Kuma, because they pretty much play the same except for the Xiaoyu moves and the Heihachi moves being in those two characters. And usually I don't see a whole lot of the high hachi moves coming out from Kuma's lately, but in the beginning, everybody was getting in the heat and then using the electrics, and just because the electrics are literally just down forward. Like you hold down forward and just press 2, I believe. Like you don't even have to do the electric motion. You just press it. They come out. So like I think that's why a lot of people were using Kuma, and why Kuma is more used than Panda. Zafina, apparently, I can never, since I heard that Arslan Ash and other top players, Nee or whatever, say that this character is trash. I have to believe that this character is trash, right? I have to believe it. Apparently this character is working harder than most, but it doesn't ever feel like it. It does not feel like it. It doesn't feel like she earns it either. Like it does not feel like she earns it either. Because like she just has a lot of these like lows, and if you don't know the matchups against this character, if you don't know how to fight this character specifically, you can't run your own game plan on this character. You have to have a game plan specifically built to beat Zafina. Like that's what I feel like it has to be. And when you know how to fight Zafina, it probably becomes she's working harder than most. But as far as I'm concerned, Zafina is a gimmicky character. She's very gimmicky. She has a bunch of like things where she's crawling around on the ground, and like a lot of maybe your mids might miss. She has like this super low to the ground stance where she pokes you at your feet, and she does these 2-hit move that launches you in the air, and then you do the same 2-hit, launches you in the air again, and then you continue your combo and like I guess wall carry or whatever. But like the character is so irritating to play against because she's always so low to the ground that it's hard to use like freaking 70% of the moves that you have in your arsenal because they're mids and highs. So like when she's on the ground, you have to try to look for a good low to knock her out of whatever she's doing, right? And if you don't have a lot of good lows or a low enough mid, then like you're probably not gonna hit her, and she's going to murder you. So I also think that like Victor is a Victor player playing against Zafina is very hard because I don't have a lot of lows. Like I have like what, down 3, I have and down back 4. I think it's down back 4. The sweep, or it's either down back 3 or down 4. I think it's down back 3 and then down 4. Those are like my lows that are not in stance. Otherwise, like I have a low that knocks down, but it's only in EI stance, and it's slow as hell. It doesn't punish anything or anything like that. It's not like a super good poke. It's just like a mix-up option to knock somebody down and to have them to wake up, and then you have Oki or whatever, right? That's what it is. This character, we all know, legendary, easy to mash with character. Does the character play the game for you? Not really. But definitely easy to mash with this character. Super fast kicks, like very hard to punish things, I think, unless you know exactly what they are. And this character is using them. Hard to block a lot of like the lows into the mids. Has like some like infinite strings, not like actually infinite combo, but just like infinite strings where you can keep pressing the button, the character will keep going. And I'm pretty sure that like Orang has some of the same stuff that this character had, like not the same type of moves, but some infinite strings and stuff that where the character can just keep going and not really have to stop until you sidestep it or duck the right thing or something like that, until you take action on what to do against it. So like that's why this character, fast, normal, super easy to mash with, has some infinite strings. Alyssa. So I literally I started learning some Alyssa last night. I started playing Alyssa. Well, I've not played her yet. I haven't played her against anybody. I haven't even really learned anything. Like I just learned anything in terms of like muscle memory and like playing the character. I just was watching some like tutorial videos and like trying to figure out, you know, what the character does. And while the character does have some insanely annoying busted stuff, you have to know how to use the insanely annoying busted stuff rather than just mashing on it. Maybe some of this stuff you don't really have to think too hard about. Like you just do it and you do it again, and then people get knocked down, and then you just know how to go into like your, you know, your stances to get your lows, and you know how to low hit people and hit people on the ground. Like you know how to do the basic stuff. You could probably don't have to think that much. But I think the character is kind of in between easy to mash with and gimmicks. but I'm gonna put the character. I'm gonna put the character in gimmicks. Had I not watched the video, I think I would have more put the character in plays the game for you. But characters pretty gimmicky. Probably one of the biggest gimmick. I didn't really put these in any order, but one of the biggest gimmicks in the game, which I get mad often when I lose to certain characters that have much either bigger gimmick potential or bigger mash potential, or characters that play the game for you literally. And because people will say, oh, Victor is such an easy character to play, he's so easy because he could just do 2-2-2 as a combo. And I'm just like, bro, like, no, that's not even, you don't want to do that. Like, you don't want to do that. You're only going to do that against people who have zero idea how to play the game. And the people that are losing to that probably have zero idea how to play the game. Or they're like learning the game and like they had to run into something that they didn't understand, right? Like, so like they just didn't understand it and they didn't know how to, but it's like not the same thing as you knowing something is there and then you're trying to defend against it and it's hard to defend against. 2-2-2 is not hard to defend against. You see 2-2-2 come out, if you can't duck it fast enough because you didn't react fast enough, just block. There's nothing he's gonna do that's super crazy if you just block. Like, if you just block and don't press anything and then you see the bullet and you were too late on the bullet, you can still jab and still beat his teleport and whatever he's about to do out of teleport. You could still stop him. Same thing with his other stance. I do this all the time to people. I do down back 1-1 forward into perfumer a lot. And people block, and then I go overhead or do the plus on block mid that he has, like the overhead swing, and people will literally just block that instead of pressing a button in between because they don't know. But sometimes when I do play people that know, it's so much harder to fight these people because I can't run my like stance pressure because it's not really real. Like, it's you can press buttons in between there, but people don't know that. So that's why he's a gimmick, and that's why I win with a bunch of gimmicks. Not saying that I feel bad about it. I don't. But like, if you're gonna complain about a character, at least learn about the character or go find out, oh, what is the thing I need to be doing right here, right? And then figure it out. Like, I get frustrated fighting characters. I get frustrated fighting this character, and I was like, well, I get so frustrated fighting this character, I'm just gonna go learn the character. So like, eventually I'm going to learn this character. This character, I don't see that often. She gets on my nerves, but not too much. I can beat Zafina, but like, she's annoying to fight. This character is also annoying to fight. This character is also annoying to fight. I lose to this character, but I don't even understand what I'm supposed to be doing other than try not to throw too many highs because she'll be low to the ground. You know what I mean? Devil Jin and Reina. Devil Jin, last two characters here. So Devil Jin, I think Devil Jin is not easy to mash with. Devil Jin is also not, I don't think Devil Jin is really that gimmicky either. Like, the more I think about it, the more I think that even though he's like super strong, like he's a super strong character, I think he's earning it. The only time it feels really annoying is when he goes into heat and you have to deal with his heat burst, where he like does like a psycho crusher at your character, that I'm sure crushes lows, or when you do anything and then he does his super where he leaves the ground instantly, teleports into the sky, and comes down on top of your character. So in most cases, when characters would just take the hit, like they take the hit of armor, and then hit you with their rage art, you go to swing at him, he does rage art, he's already in the air. There's no chance that you're hitting the character. There's no chance that you're hitting at least not from what I've seen. There's no chance that you're hitting the character to kill him, even if he has a pixel of health left, right? he's going to come down on you and hit you, and then you're gonna be in a death situation if you're low enough. Where it's like, oh, all I had to do was hit him like any other character, even though he did rage art. But no, Reina, I'm gonna put in easy to mash with. She has a lot of stance stuff, and I was gonna put her in gimmicks, but if you just press a lot of buttons with Reina, she has a off of her forward dash, she has a parry. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but off her forward dash, she has a parry, or like a parry move type of thing, and then which can just happen by accident sometimes from you dashing at people, which I've not seen it happen because all the Reinas that I play are like red rank right now or higher, so I don't really see any Reinas or get caught in the parry or anything like that, but because I don't think they don't do their parry thing, like they don't do forward dash and look for parry on purpose, right? So a lot of people from like the ranks that I'm in don't really necessarily mash with her, but she would be somebody that's easy to mash with, especially like having like these like really strong, like I don't know if they're really strong lows. I just feel like they're stronger than Victor's lows. That's all I'm saying. But like her low where she does like a sweep into like a punch and it's a true combo, and then like she does like she does other things where she's spinning and you have to know whether she's gonna go low or whether she's going to go mid, and you don't know, or and then she like ends something in like a grab, and then it's like dude, what is all these things? What are all these things? Why is she still swinging at me? Why am I still blocking? What is going on? Why is her strings so long? Why is she still in my face? Like that is what I feel about Reina. But yeah, so like basically the two characters that I feel like are working the hardest in the game are Brian and Shaheen. I feel like they don't really do anything crazy in this game, and when they get wins, it's just like they're just doing some like average stuff. So then we have King, Xiao Yu, and Dragonov that play the game for you. So if you want to get higher in ranks, lightly learn these characters and just hit ranked and just you know do the most basic things that are their most basic gimmicks, which is grab, roll, AOP, and like back turn launcher, like a string into back turn and then just press launcher. You'll probably get a launch, then into like whatever combo, then walk up to him and do hypnotist into sweep or mid, right? And then you have him, and you just keep your plus frames, plus frame on block, plus frame on hit, plus frame on block, plus frame on hit, launch, damage, wall, dead. Like that's pretty much Dragonov. So yeah, now I just want to see, I want to go back and watch Lotus Asakura's video in its entirety, and then see what his take on this list was, because we did switch two of the areas, but I want to see if he put the same characters in those tiers as he did, and what are his characters that play the game for you and his actually working harder than most tiers are. So let's check that out after I watch his video. I had a feeling that, first of all, let's get this out of the way. I had a feeling that my character was going to get put into the your character plays the game for you tier, but like as someone who's playing the character, man, the character definitely does not play the game for you. I don't know how to get this through to anybody, but like Victor is not playing the game for you. And if he does play the game for you, let me see if I can go back and find where he put Victor in here and see what he said. I didn't finish watching the whole thing. I watched about half of it, but I was like, let me just see what the end of his tier list was. I want to see when he put Victor in that tier. I guess it would be near the end, right? And he put him at the top too, because he was putting them in order. He was putting everybody in there, so he put Devil Jin in there. So it had to be back here, I guess. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Us do the pros, they know, we don't know. Replay character Victor.
Okay, let's see what he has to say about Victor, because I want to know why this character is said to play the game for you. Maybe it's more of a low tier, like, or a low rank thing, where it's like in the lower ranks, like in, like, I don't know, yellow and below, like people will just use 222 a lot in neutral and as their combos, where it's like, oh, they can't drop their combos, and while other people are playing down there and don't really know a lot of combos, or can't do their combos, or have a hard time getting in their combos, or drop their combos, or don't have really good neutral, or don't have any defense, or stuff like that, where you can just hit 22222 over again and like give people a hard time, right? And after, like, maybe Destroyer and after, people start ducking the bullet from Victor because they know they're supposed to. Later on, people will get hit by the bullet still, because in red rank and above, if you run into any Victor, none of us use 222 in neutral at all, ever. So at least none that I've ran into, they don't use 222 at all. I don't use 222 at all in neutral, because it's too dangerous that somebody might duck it. But none of us use it. So in the higher ranks, or in the red ranks, it's in purple ranks and stuff like that, it seems like that people are more likely to get hit by it in those ranks, because no one uses it. So when it comes out, they're not ready, right? So, like, that's why it's like, that's the only thing I can think of why this character would be someone, or a character that would be playing the game for you, because you go into stance and then you hit 2 again and you're safe, right? That's the only thing I can think of. But I want to hear what somebody else has to say about Victor.
Victor might have to go at the top of the game. Your character plays the game for you.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I've fought very many Victor players who are good at Tekken yet. It's just all down back 4, up 1+2 when you're in heat. Granted,
okay. Let's talk about down back 4. Down back 4 or down back 3, whatever the sweep is, whatever the sweep option is, right? You need it. Like, we don't have anything else that's low that's good. Like, what other low? Like, Tekken is a game where you have to use lows to chip away at your opponent, right? So you have to use, like, so I would have to use like I guess the only other low that I have, which is also doesn't knock down or result in a combo, is what is it, 2-1-2-1-3, which is like the beginning of his 2-1-3 2-1-3-1 is a double low at the end of a string, and it's the beginning of his 10-hit combo. 2-1-3 is something I don't really use often, like, ever, but like I probably should start using it a little bit more. But like, the sweep option is like one of the only things, it reaches very far, and on counter hit it gives you a launcher, but like you have to fish for these counter hits with his down back 3, and that's the only real way to safely poke at somebody with a low. And it's not even safe. Like, it's not even, that's just the safest option, because like from the range that it can hit, they're kind of far away from you, right? From the range that it can hit, they're most likely not going to duck. There are some people, rarely, who will duck looking for the sweep, because they know the Victors do sweep a lot, especially at certain ranges, right? So when I start to get people to start ducking because they want to look for that sweep to block it, then you start hitting them with mids, and you start hitting them with launchers, and when you see them ducking and stuff like that, right? So like, that's why we have to use this sweep so much. It's the best low we got, other than EI stance 1+ EI stance down 1+2 is the only other low we have that knocks down. Like we have to use down back 4 a lot, or down back 3. I forget where it's down back 3 or down back 4. I think it's down back 3. Why don't I remember? Because I'm just used to doing the move on the buttons. Like, I'm just used to doing the move. I don't remember exactly which one it is, 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure it's down back 3, but whatever.
That's how I play the character as well. But like, Victor players only got like 5 options that they gonna use. It's like 5 moves that they gonna do in total, right? Power Crush. That's number one.
I don't even do that as often anymore. But Power Crush is a high. A lot of other characters that have Power Crushes are mids. You can duck his Power Crush. The other Power Crush that we have is a mid, but it's out of EI stance. All of the good stuff is in EI stance, in Perfumer. Well, Perfumer kind of sets up some stuff, but like it's usually just EI stance. That's where all his like strongest stuff is. Seems like you have a mid Power Crush where you go in EI stance, you use your mid Power Crush when you think somebody's gonna press a button when they're up close, and you blow them up for it. You don't even get a combo for that. Like it gives you a knockdown, but you don't get a combo for that, which is fine, I guess. Right? It's a Power Crush move. It blows through all the stuff that when somebody tries to hit you, unless it's a low, right?
The round start option. That's the neutral option.
I do not like using Power Crush as a round start option anymore because it just takes away your heat. Like I don't really like using that as a round start option anymore. I definitely used to use it as a round start option in the beginning. Maybe when he's remembering all of the lower ranked victors that he played to get to where he is now and hasn't really played any other victors. Maybe he has played other victors that are in the ranks that he's in purples and stuff like that. But like when people watch me play, when they come to my stream and they watch me play, they're like, dude, you're doing a ton of stuff that I've never seen other victors do. And I'm like, what? I was like, I'm just doing all of Victor's stuff because like I feel like I don't have a whole lot of different things, so I have to use everything, right? I have to use a lot more of his kit because he doesn't have any part of his kit that's really free wins. Like somebody really commented on one of my videos that Victor has moves that will net you free wins. And I'm like, please tell me what moves net me free wins so that I can use them because I want free wins. Yeah, I want free wins. None of my wins ever feel free unless they're against like a player that is like ranked much lower than me. Like otherwise, I am working out here, okay? And I didn't even put my character in the working tier. I know my character is gimmicky. But like I be working to get these gimmicks to work. Like, and it's nuts.
That's their, I did something and I'm negative option, you know what I'm saying?
Now I have seen people do that, and I think I need to actually start doing that because when you do 4-4-2, there's a player who I played who plays Victor, who comes to my stream, and he does it to me and he does it to other people, and I've seen it. He'll do 4-4-2, and if they block it, you're negative 14, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're negative. You might be negative 15. I think you're negative 15 because what's the name is punishable by that. You can punish that with Victor's launcher, which is 15 frames. None of my launchers are 14 frames. So you can punish it with a 15 frame launcher. So I know it's minus 15, 4-4-2. And it pushes you back so far that you have to move forward in order to try to take your turn or whatever. So they will just do Power Crush. He'll just do Power Crush. And I was like, damn, maybe I should be doing that. Maybe I should go for 4-4-2, wait for the block in the middle of a match when they're like down by 50% health, and to just do 4-4-2. If they block it, I do Power Crush. If they get hit, I combo them into the wall, whatever, and then do it again and look for a Power Crush. I think I need to do that. And that's not Victor's fault that people get hit by that. It's people they just don't know yet. That's just something they don't know about the matchup. Now, if I'm playing this guy who does that, I know he does that. So I'm going to be very careful when he does 4-4-2 to not get hit by a Power Crush. Like that's to not like approach him immediately after that and try to like punish or swing at it. You know what I mean? Because I'm too far away to do anything most of the time. Maybe I might be able to hit back 3-1. I might be able to hit back 3-1 to punish that. I'm going to try that in training later. Now that I'm thinking about that, this is how you come up with things. You're thinking about it. You're thinking about old matches, and you lab it either in your head or in training mode, and I think I can do this. So yeah, I think I can hit back 3-1 to do that. Maybe we'll see. It should reach.
Saying yeah, power, and like I said, I abuse it too, as you should. It's heat engager, safe as highs. Yeah. Anyway, Power Crush. Down back forward to fish for counter hits. He ain't really got many low options, so you might as well just go for that one.
Yes, I agree. Yes, that's what I was saying, right? It's not fair to kind of like, I feel like it's not fair to like be mad at Victors for using down back 4 so much, because you gotta fish for counter hits because we don't have that many low options. That's it. I'm just supposed to never use it. Like, am I just supposed to never use it? Like,
It's very committable, high risk, high reward is what it is. Running 2, again, that's the entirety of the neutral.
this is true. This is true. I agree. Running 2 is like the go-to thing. You do running 2. But in actuality, if that's the case, right? If that's the case, running 2 is only +3. I'm pretty sure. Now, it's about saying only +3 because of what I'm about to say. But like Leo, that is down here in Lily and Leo tier, way far under the character plays the game for you, right? Way down here has a down 2 that's just +4. It's just a whack. Not a forward 2, not a like a not a forward down, or like not 2 inputs, not like 4-4-2 like Reyna has, right? Now Reyna's is pretty fast too, but like it's like 4-4-2, you know, you got to press 2 inputs. With Leo, it's just you just and you're +4 and you're +4. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Now you might be able to sidestep this move, right? You might be able to sidestep this move, but for real, you can't really if you screw up the run, you get 2. And then you've lost your turn, you're not plus anymore. This happens to me very often, where it's like I'm trying to press the run, and I don't get the third forward input, and I get 2. But like, yes, when we run up to you, we're gonna press 2, but you can sidestep that. Like, if a victor is running at you, you should probably sidestep. You should probably sidestep. Now, I account for sidesteps, and if I see people that are aware, or they know and they're trying to sidestep a lot, I will run up to people and delay the forward 4-2. I might run up to them and then do 4-4-4-2 rather than running up to them and just hitting 2, because I don't want them to sidestep my stuff. I rarely get my 4-4-2 my running 2 sidestepped, but after I do get it sidestepped the first time, I start looking for the sidestep and I start delaying my running 2s, because I don't want to have people just sidestepping on me. You know what I mean?
It's power crushes and running 2. That's all I got. Then they're gonna activate heat and use up 1+2 as they crushes and run is what it is. Running 2, again, that's the entirety of the neutral. It's power crushes and running 2. That's all I got. Then they're gonna activate heat and use up 1+2 as they should.
Yes. Yes. So I don't do it enough. I don't do it enough. I do it sometimes, but when I activate heat, I don't want to use up 1+2, because unless I'm in the lead, I guess, because like if I'm not in the lead or it's close, then what I'm gonna do is go into heat, and then if I've hit them, or if I think they won't press any buttons, then I'm gonna press down back 1+2 to use his move where he becomes +6 in EI stance. That's what I normally would like to go for, so that I can start my up 1-1 cancel mix, like stance mix-ups, right? That is what I rather do, because like hitting somebody, I mean, at the end of a match, up 1+2, if somebody gets hit by up 1+2, it does oh my god, it does a ton. It does a ton of damage. At the end of a match, probably. At the end of a match, when you run up to somebody and they're on the ground and you think they're gonna get up and do rage art, nobody is surviving up 1+2 in heat when they try to rage art, because it's going to destroy their health bar. Like, they probably won't have enough health. They won't have enough health to eat it, unless they had like 50% health. I think it does like 30%. It's stupid. Like, it's stupid.
I do it as well. You know what I'm saying? Very, very powerful move. And then like some of them, they do like what is it, like down back 1-1. I think we get like that low poke into the thing to perfume or whatever. And that's really about it. You know, you might come across, throws. No, overwrite the down back 1, throws. They still gonna use throw. A lot of y'all then got exposed since they fixed the throw window, by the way. And y'all still then they go.
Oh wait.
Then they're gonna activate heat and use up 1+2 as they should. I do it as well. You know what I'm saying? Very, very powerful move. And then like some of them, they do like what is it, like down back 1-1. I think we get like that low.
But like a lot of these things are not like, I don't feel like they're so ridiculously crazy though. Like other characters have crazier things that lead to more dangerous like things like launchers and stuff like that, where you get launched because you made a small mistake. And with with Victor, you make a small mistake versus another character and you're getting launched. With Victor, if you make a small mistake against a Victor, you're at most you're probably on the ground. And it's like you're on the ground, you got to get up off the ground now, or he's running at you, he hits you with a running two. And the only thing that he really comes from damage is from people mashing against him. Like if he does a running two and you get hit by it because you weren't blocking or you try to sidestep, you get blown away, you get knocked really far back. But like now I have to approach you again, and generally, I could do another running two. But usually people, they get like I am elated when I hit a running two and they do a backflip because they go into a tailspin and I'm like, oh, now I get a combo and I get more damage for this running two because this person, instead of blocking because they knew I was going to running two, they tried to hit me out of my running two rather than just blocking or sidestepping the running two. Then other things, like if the down back four, right? Down back four or down back three, whichever one it is, you do that and then like somebody mashes, they get counter hit. I get a combo, I get more damage for it, right? I get all this damage because you are pressing buttons. If you stand up versus Victor and don't mash and just be patient, he will hang himself. I will do something that is very punishable all the time. And until people start punishing me for it, I don't stop doing those things. I use those moves as if they're safe because no one punishes me for them. Like down back, what is it? Down back the 2+3, I think it is. I think it's down back 2+3. Or back 2+3. Excuse me, back 2+3. Is a he drops back and hits you with the hilt of his sword, right? While it's still in the sheath. And it's -22. Bro. Usually either people never punish me for it or they hit me with a 10 frame punisher. They could just launch me from that. They could do whatever they want. They could do their biggest combo after blocking that all the time. But nobody knows. But if somebody knows, I'm very careful with how I use it after that. Sometimes I'll use it. I'll dash back. It's the round start. I'll dash back and do back 2+3. If somebody is more reserved in how they play at round start, I'll do back dash, right? I'll back dash and then do unblockable. And sometimes people will just not sidestep and just get hit by it. I've hit people multiple times with unblockables, and his unblockable gotta be one of the easiest unblockables to move out of the way of. Unlike Yoshimitsu, which has a low, I'm pretty sure his is low unblockable spin. It's a low unblockable spin. So like, even if you were to duck to try to block it, you're getting hit. You have to like jump over it. Like you have to like jump over it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you can sidestep it. Maybe you can, and it's just a weird looking spin thing that you can sidestep. I'm not sure, but like, all you got to do with Victor is sidestep. You just sidestep. It gives you a million years to sidestep, and people just hold back. They're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna block this," instead of sidestepping. They had the wherewithal to see it and go, "Oh wait, let me not press anything. Let me block. Let me walk backwards, and then get hit by it." Instead of just sidestepping. It takes a long time to come out.
Poke into the thing, to perfume or whatever, and that's really about it. You know, you might come across throws. No, overwrite the down back one. Throws. They still gonna use throw. A lot of y'all think
I did not get exposed for the throws, right? People do break my throws now, but I still have been winning and have been ranking up and I've been winning more now. So it's like, it wasn't like throws were the thing that were giving me my wins, right? Like people used to say, "Oh yeah, man, you're just," a couple of people here and there that came into my stream one time would say that, "Oh man, yeah, his throw is broken." I'm like, his throw is broken and it's not supposed to be that way. but you can still break it. It's not like that throw is unbreakable and it has some like unbreakable, unreactable like throw window. You can still break the throw. And I have broken the throw. And it's not like it's a 1+2 throw that's unbreakable. It's his normal throw. It's not his 1+2 throw. It's his normal throw. So you can break it with 1 or 2. And usually people are mashing jab anyway, and that's how they break out of throws most of the time, because they were mashing jab and you grabbed them and they were mashing jab already, so they got out of the throw. That's how people get out of most normal throws. So they don't even have to react to it half the time. They were just like, oh, I'm just going to jab here. And then they got grabbed and then they broke the throw instead of getting their jab.
Got exposed since they fixed the throw window, by the way. And y'all still be going for it like it's bugged and it ain't, and the throws be getting broken, and y'all be standing there looking stupid. And then you mash power crush because you don't really know what else to do in that situation. So
I mean, I do.
It's fine. But yeah,
I do. But maybe I should be mashing power crush.
Earned it. The thing with Brian,
maybe I should be mashing power crush. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the things where it's like, so people are mad at these things, and the things that he does are negative or very punishable, like not necessarily good. He doesn't have that many options, so like that's the only reason why he does a lot of the things that he does. It's like we don't have no other options. We have very few options when it comes to lows. And then we have very few, like we have these mix-ups and stuff, but we have to bank on the fact that people don't understand how it works, which is the reason why I put him into gimmicks, right? I put him into gimmicks, not necessarily he plays the game for you. You just have to know how to use his gimmicks and how to exploit people and use your gimmicks to get the win, right? Like, he doesn't play the game for you. 2-2-2 is how people feel like Victor plays. They're like, oh, he's so easy. He's so easy because you can 2-2-2. That's the reason why I thought that he was going to put him up here. But I feel like that's more gimmicks matchup based. The way he explained, I think is more gimmicks matchup based in his tier list rather than the character plays the game for you.
At a low.
So, it is what it is. But I think he has a lot more characters in his tier list than I do. In mine, I have 3 characters in the game. It plays the game for you. 3 characters. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 characters, and technically the game plays the game for you. Plays the character for you. He has Dragunov in a tier of his own, which I guess. Like I guess. Devil Jin is weird, but I feel like Jin is easier. Excuse me. I feel like Jin is easier to play than Devil Jin. Like I feel like I don't know why. I just feel like Jin is easier to play than Devil Jin. Azucena, I don't know if Azucena plays the game for you. Maybe she does. I haven't played her yet, but I haven't played like use her yet or anything like that. But I don't know. I don't feel like Azucena plays the game for you. Definitely gimmicks and matchup base. Characters that I would move down, because my Jun I have in earned it because I just haven't fought a lot, and like they say she's strong, but I mean I haven't felt that way about her. But I will move Jun down to gimmicks matchup. I will move Azucena and Victor down to gimmicks matchup. I would move I guess I would keep Fang here. He feels Reynick should stay here. Maybe Devil Jin, I would feel down to gimmicks and matchup. But the rest of them could stay. Dragunov, I don't know. Like Dragunov being in a tier of his own, being that good is they have to know that that's what they're supposed to do. All the Dragunovs that I lose to know what Dragunov is about and know how to play the character. It's not usually that they're just mashing one thing or a certain thing over and over again. They usually are mixing his options, which is like they'll hit you with a mid plus frame move and then go low, and then you get hit, and then you're like, ugh. And then now you got to guess whether he's going to hit you mid or low, and it's like, oh, I got to block this mid that's plus, and it's like, do I sidestep, and then he like sweeps you or something, or he grabs you because you're like shook now, and then you want to try to press buttons and he counter hits you. Like they I feel like they know what they're doing most of the time, the Dragunovs that I lose to. So I don't really wouldn't really say he plays the game for you. And maybe that's why he put him in a tier of his own. But this is his tier list. What do you guys think about my tier list versus his tier list? And me being Shinryu and him being blue rank. And I would assume that most people would be like, oh well, he's blue rank, so what he says goes, and what you say goes in the trash. So like I don't know, is there any merit to any of the stuff that I say about the characters that I put in my list versus the characters that he put in his list? I would go watch his video in its entirety versus my video and to see where our ideas would meet up on different characters if you want to do that. So yeah, definitely give him. Am I not subscribed to Lotus Asakura? I've been watching his videos more often lately. I've known that he's existed, but I've not like been interested in his videos necessarily. Probably because I wasn't playing like Dragon Ball and stuff like that. But since we're both playing the same game now, I guess I'm more interested in the videos that he's putting out because they're Tekken videos. So and like I don't even play Hwoarang or anything like that. But I like where his head is at and where his mindset about fighting games and content creation and all that kind of stuff. So give him a subscription. He's a much larger YouTuber than I am, and hopefully one day I'll be up there with him. So all right, thanks guys for watching the video, and please do subscribe to me, subscribe to Lotus Asakura, and give this video a like if you liked it. And I appreciate you guys. See you guys in the next video and on the next stream. I stream usually Monday through Friday between like 9 p.m. Pacific time to like maybe like 1 or something like that usually, because I get off of work, come home, go to sleep, and then wake up around 8 o'clock, maybe get something to eat, and then start to stream. Usually if I'm not like super tired. If I don't stream one weekday, I'll probably be on the next day because I'm just super tired that day. But all right, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See you guys in the next video. Peace.